you hold my hand, look me in the eyes. You and me, yeah, that's all I need, and I'll be alright. I'll be right here. I swear that I'll stay here with you. Hold me closer. I wanna stay here with you. All that we have is each other now. I promise I won't leave your side. Be who you are and you'll be enough. If you're giving me your love, giving me your love.
I need to freaking edit a video, but my adapter has gone missing somehow. I've always kept it either over here in this container or in the basket on the counter with all my notebooks and stuff. And I literally, what was it? What's today? Tuesday? On Sunday, I literally just walked over here, pulled the SD card out of the adapter and put it back in the camera and went upstairs and filmed. And then yesterday I came over here and went to grab the adapter so I could edit the video that was supposed to go up yesterday, and it was gone. And I can't find it. I've searched all in these baskets, all in that basket. I've taken the chair apart, I've looked under the couch cushions, I've looked around on the floor a little bit, I went through this trash down here. I have no idea where it went, and it drives me crazy, and I need to edit. Went to take a shower this morning because my hair needed to be washed, and Jace, a year and a half, 1.5 years old, still will not let me take a shower. Literally, I don't know what it is. I think it's like he thinks I'm in danger or something weird, because anytime he hears the shower turn on, he comes in there whining, and if I get in there, he screams the whole time. He stands outside the tub and tries to pull the curtain back and screams and cries and gets himself all wet because of him moving the curtain and the water spraying him. So yeah, he will not let me take a shower. But I went and took a quick shower, and he just sat there crying the whole time. And literally the second that I turned that water off and pulled the curtain back, he just walks away giggling. Like, screams the whole 5 minutes that I was in the shower. And the second that I turned that shower off and opened the curtain, he's, okay, I'm good now. Walks away giggling. Like, it's so ridiculous. I don't know what it is. Like, I'm just not allowed to have a shower. Like, is he scared of the shower? Is he scared for me of the shower? I don't get it. But it's been like this basically his whole life. So anyways, I'm supposed to be doing something kind of exciting today. Last year I homeschooled London for kindergarten because I did not like the school district that we are in, and the school district that I do like is too far of a drive. Like, I debated registering her in the school district that I went to, where all of our family is, hoping we would eventually move there, because my other problem, I don't know how I feel about the school district, for one, and for two, I don't want my kids to have to switch schools a bunch, especially the first few years when they're just getting the hang of school and it's this whole new thing. Like, I didn't want to be moving her around, and we didn't know how long we were going to be staying here. So last year I ended up deciding to just homeschool her for kindergarten, because again, I didn't know much about the district area the school we're zoned for, and I didn't want to put her in a school here and then us move and have to put her in a different school there and all this other mess. So I homeschooled London last year for kindergarten. However, I mean, overall, homeschooling was successful. Like, she got good grades, she did her work, she learned what she needed to learn, but it was very stressful on us and I just don't think that's something that realistically I could continue to do. Like, it was just a lot on my plate. It would be different if I was done with school myself, but since I decided to go back to school myself again, I don't want to go through another year of me being in college and homeschooling her on top of everything else that I have to do with 2 other kids and everything else. It was just a lot, and I don't necessarily worry about London's socializing. Like, she gets to play with kids, and like, she had socialization at dance and stuff, so I'm not necessarily worried about that aspect of homeschooling, but I also do feel like it would be cool. It would be nice for her to go be in a school setting and be around more kids like all week, you know? I did decide that I was going to go ahead and put her in public school this year. I did more research on the school. I've driven past the school. I've driven in the area. I've looked at the school's social media and like just done more research on it to make myself feel a little bit better. And it seems like it is a pretty decent school, and it's in a decent area. Hopefully we'll have a good experience with it. And I know, well, actually, it's about a month and a half away. Just under 2 months away. I can't believe that. How they keep starting school earlier and earlier. But even though it's technically a month and a half away, they did already open registration, and I'm the kind of person, I need to get it done sooner rather than later. Otherwise, I'm gonna stress about it for weeks, or I'm gonna forget about something. So it's easier for me to start the process now so that I can like ask any questions, get whatever paperwork I need, and just go ahead and get it out of the way. Otherwise, it's gonna be hanging over my head all summer. So I'm gonna go ahead and start the registration process today, see what I can do online, see what information I can get. Like, I already saw what day school starts, but see if I can find like school supply lists and things like that yet. I'm not sure if they have all that stuff out yet. But I just like to get things done sooner rather than later, because again, otherwise it will just hang over my head and it'll just cause me more anxiety, and I don't need more anxiety. So I like to just get what I can, because sometimes there's things that are out of my control and they cause me anxiety anyways. But if there's something that I can control, why is he going to sleep right now? He just woke up like not even an hour ago. Well, maybe it was an hour ago. I wonder if he's coming down with something. Or is it just them teethers coming in? If it is something that I can control, I like to get it over with so that it's something off my plate, you know? So I need to look into all of that and see. My problem is, though, that might be difficult with registering is my name isn't really on anything. Like, my name's not on the lease, my name's not on the utilities. It's all in Christopher's name, so I don't know how it's gonna be for me trying to register her. I don't know, because I don't really have any paperwork in my name to prove residence. So I'm hoping that I can just do it all in Christopher's name. Like, that is her dad. And he is on her birth certificate, so like there shouldn't be a problem, right? Another thing, technically the school district and the school offers, the school does offer 4K. So technically I could send Ashlyn to school too, but one, I feel like I don't want to send 2 kids to school for the first time at the same time. That would be kind of stressful for me to have to go from never having a kid in school to having to register and prepare and buy supplies and everything for 2 kids at once. I don't want to have to do that. I'd rather do it one by one. And 2, I just feel like it would also be nice for Ashlyn to have an extra year at home. Like, she's not gonna be, it's not gonna stunt her. Like, Ashlyn knows a lot of things too. She knows her ABCs, she knows like most of the stuff that she needs to know for kindergarten. So it's not like she's gonna be stunted because of it. Like, I'm not worried about that at all. She'll be fine to not go to 4K and to just go straight into 5K. So I'm not worried about that aspect. So I just feel like it would be nice for her to have an extra year at home, because London spent the past 6 years, almost, it'll be 6 years in August, at home. That's one thing. London was bugging me because she's like, am I gonna go to school for the first time? Am I gonna start first grade when I'm 5 or when I'm 6? And I'm like, I don't know, kid. You might turn 6 before school starts, or school might start right before you turn 6. Like, you could be 5, you could be 6, I don't know. I know now she will still be 5 when it starts. She'll turn 6 about a week or 2 into school. So I did figure that out. But yeah, Ashlyn just turned 4, so she technically is in the age range for 4K. But again, London's will have spent almost just under the past 6 years at home. Like, she got 6 years at home with us. Ashlyn's been here for 4, and I don't want it to feel unfair, and I also feel like it would be good for them to have time apart. Like, I know they would have time apart in school because they'd be in 2 different grades, but I just think that it would be nice for Ashlyn to have time home without London instead of just sending her straight into school and then being separated, you know? I think she would benefit from having time at home with me and Jace without London around, because her and London, they need time apart, okay? They've been together their entire lives. They've rarely ever had time apart, like literally rarely ever have one of them gone somewhere without the other, and it's usually only been for doctor's appointments or like birthdays. So they've only had like a handful of days apart from each other, so they need time apart. And it would be nice for Ashlyn to have another year at home without London around, so she can be like the big kid of the house, if that makes sense. Like, obviously Jace is still gonna be here, but I mean, he's so little. So long story short, I'm not gonna be putting Ashlyn into 4K this year, and I'm going to be registering London for first grade, which is crazy. That is insane. It's so funny to me, Christopher. We were laying in bed the other morning, and Christopher all of a sudden goes, London's gonna be starting school, man. We gotta go get her a phone. Like, we're gonna have to get her a phone. Like, he said something like that, and I'm like, what are you talking about? We cannot get a 6-year-old a phone. He's like, she's gonna be gone all day. We need to know where she is. And I'm like, I understand the sentiment, and I know it's gonna be stressful for us, because this is going to be the first time she's ever going to be in this kind of setting besides dance. But with dance, we're in the parking lot the whole time. So this is going to be the first time that we're taking her somewhere, dropping her off, and leaving her there for 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. That is insane. And it is going to be very nerve-wracking. But you can't give a 6-year-old a phone. They're not going to let a first grader have a cell phone. I was like, Christopher, she's not going to be allowed to have a phone. He's like, what are you talking about? I had a phone. And I'm like, dude, I wasn't allowed to have a phone in middle school. In middle school, you weren't supposed to have your phone on you. The only way you could have a phone, nobody listened, people snuck them, but the only way that you were supposed to have a phone in middle school was if you left it in your locker. And you're telling me that they're going to let a first grader walking around with a phone? You could barely even have your phone out in high school. High school, they didn't care as much as long as you didn't have it in class. People still snuck it then too. And it depended on the teacher. But like, high school, they didn't like the phones. Middle school, they were supposed to stay in the lockers. And you're telling me that an elementary school is gonna let these kids walking around with phones? I was like, I'm sorry, Christopher, but no. They ain't gonna let that happen, and it's unnecessary. Immunization records. So Jace has a doctor's appointment coming up, so I'm gonna have to ask them for that. Let me give them my school email because it looks a little bit more professional than my personal email. My personal email name I've had since like middle school or high school. So the other thing I would like to find out now is what time school starts and what time school gets out, because I'd like to know how early my mornings are gonna have to be so that I can prepare myself, I guess. I don't know. I just like to know so I can think of a plan that would work for like a schedule, a routine for us for school. But the good thing is her school is less than a mile away. So that will be nice for, what's that word? Commutes? No, the other thing that I thought of that I worried about is I struggle anytime, I rarely ever leave the house, but when I do leave the house, I always want to have like a little treat. Like I always want to stop and get like a little drink or something. And it's like, if I'm at home, I'm not gonna get everyone out of the house just to go get a coffee. I only really will do that if I'm already out of the house. If I'm gonna be out of the house every single morning dropping her off at school, it is gonna take so much self-control for me not to go get a Starbucks coffee every morning. And the Starbucks is right there too. It is gonna be so hard. Like I'm literally gonna want to stop and get a Starbucks coffee every morning after I take her to school. And that's too much money. Literally, I already know. Nope. Knowing myself, and knowing this situation, I already know that every morning I'm gonna want to stop and get a coffee after drop off. I did what I could for registration. I just have to finish getting the documents. Like I said, I have to get the immunization records next week. And the other thing is it asks for like their transcripts and withdrawal form from their past school, but I'm not sure how that's gonna work with Luna being homeschooled last year, so I'll have to see how that's gonna work. I found last year's school supply list. I don't know if it's gonna be the same or not, so. However, something else I just realized that I'm reading right now is this is a uniform school. I definitely did not want to have to deal with a uniform school. I wanted to look for a rule book, handbook, whatever, to see like dress code requirements so I know when shopping for school clothes. But I'm coming upon uniform information. So, yeah, I don't know what it is, but I'm just not a fan of the whole uniform thing, especially for elementary schoolers. Like, I don't know. So this is a new thing that I didn't necessarily want to have to deal with. I feel like I've kind of had a thought in the back of my mind. I'm like, holy crap, what if this is a uniform school? But I didn't really entertain it, I guess. I don't know. So you can buy their official logo stuff, or let's see. Shirts and blouses. Shirts and blouse tops must have a collar. All tops must be plain, except for a school logo, in a solid color of navy blue, royal blue, light blue, or white. During colder months, students may wear plain, solid color sweaters, sweatshirts, and turtlenecks of the same colors listed above. Tops may be monogrammed with the student's initials. Tops may not exceed one size larger or smaller than the student's current appropriately fitting size. Shirts and blouses must be worn tucked inside bottoms. This is so dumb. Oh. All bottoms must be plain, khaki, or navy. Bottoms may have an elastic waistline or belt loops and must be hemmed. Belt should be worn if bottoms have belt loops. Belt buckles must not be oversized or overly ornate. Must be worn at the natural waistline. Baggy or sagging pants or shorts are not permitted. These are elementary schoolers. Like, this sounds like middle school, high school type stuff. These are elementary school kids. You're talking about elementary school kids sagging? Is that a thing? Short skirts, skirts, and jumpers must be modest and of sufficient length. Elementary school. The length of these articles of clothing may be no shorter than 3 inches above the top of the knee when standing. I'm gonna have to get her a whole wardrobe. Like, I assumed I would get her some school clothes just so she could have some fresh new clothes to wear to school. But I figured she could still wear a lot of the clothes she has. But no, I'm literally gonna have to get her a whole separate wardrobe that can be worn to school. Yay. Gang-related clothing, accessory symbols, or intimidating items of dress are not permitted. What kind of elementary kids are we talking about? Socks, tights, leggings, and hair accessories should match and or coordinate with the uniform. Henna tattoos or other ink writings on the skin is not permitted. So you're telling me my kid can't have a fake tattoo on? They can't have a little fake tattoo on? Like a little mermaid fake tattoo, something? Now I'm gonna have to figure out where I can put all of her school clothes too. Like, they're gonna have a whole separate area to be stored. I wonder if black is okay. Can my kid have black tights? Or black leggings? Okay, that makes me wonder if there's rules about their backpacks though. Are they only allowed to have certain backpacks? All of these shirts are $20 to $30. And the logo added is an extra $6. TikTok just reminded me, this whole vlog is me sitting in this chair yapping. I'm sorry. I will do some other stuff later. I've got a couple things to clean, so that's your thing. I gotta finish cleaning out the car because I didn't end up doing it yesterday. I've gotta clean the car seats because they're gross and I don't want to put dirty car seats into what will hopefully end up being a clean car. And 3, I gotta clean the disaster of a schoolroom over there now that we don't need it. It's a disaster. Okay. Anyways, TikTok just reminded me, another thing that I've been thinking about with my kids starting public school is I've been worrying about how it means like I'm gonna have to branch out, because if I want to invite kids to like birthday parties, I'd have to invite a whole class, and that means that I'd have to branch out with socializing, because, you know, if these people show up to these parties, I'm gonna have to talk to all these parents and stuff. And that gives me anxiety thinking about me like inviting a whole class. And I know that technically most of the time a lot of people don't even show up to that kind of stuff, but I have been having anxiety thinking about the fact that if I send my kid to public school, I have to send out a whole class worth of invites. If I send out invites at all to these people, I have to do it to the whole class because that's how they work now. And that just means a whole lot more socializing for me and meeting new people, and that is so far out of my comfort zone. But at the same time, I just was on TikTok reading comments. This Katie Gonzalez chick, I've watched her on YouTube for like years, and now I watch her on TikTok too, and she's talking about when's the best month to have a kid. And she was saying how like it's different on when you give birth to the kid versus when you celebrate the kid's birthday, like, you know, talking about. And so London's birthday is in August, which I love summer birthdays because it's, well, now that my aunt has a pool, it's a lot easier. Pool party, you know, it's easy. Jace's birthday is a lot harder because it's December, so not only is it literally 2 days after Christmas, but it's also the middle of winter, so you're more limited on things that you can do, especially on a budget. If I didn't have a budget, it'd be fine. Rent out a bowling alley, rent out a trampoline park, like literally anything like that if I had the money, yeah. But when you're on a budget, it's a lot harder to plan a birthday party in the wintertime. Like, I've always liked that London's birthday is in August, like in the summertime, because of that. But I just read a comment on here that was talking about how the downside to an August birthday is they don't know their classmates that well yet, so they're less likely to go to their birthday parties. And I never thought of that. Like, that thought never came to me. Like, I've been worried about having to invite kids and parents that I don't know to her party when she goes to school. But that comment kind of has a point. Like, if you literally, like, and her birthday is literally, like, not even 2 weeks after school starts, so like literally barely gonna know any of the kids. But I mean, 5-6-year-olds, they make friends fast, but still. I know that there's this whole thing about, you know, people send out like invites to the entire class and like maybe 1 or 2 people shows up and like it's this whole thing. And I feel like that comment has a point, that it's going to be so much worse when the school year just started and like you literally don't really know anyone yet. And also I'm probably a lot younger than majority of the parents. So that's also another thing that I worry about. Like if I'm sending to my kid to school and if I send out invites to birthday parties and if I were to do any PTA type stuff, it's like I'm 24 years old and majority of those parents are probably 30s plus, maybe. So it's just like, that's a whole different thing. Like we're on different wavelengths. They have different life experiences. I'm 24 years old with 3 kids and like they're probably gonna be a good 5-10 years older than me. Oh my goodness. Dude, he's still asleep and I have to pee so freaking bad. Literally been about to pee myself for the past hour. Can I go pee now? Or is he gonna fall back asleep? He must be not feeling good today or something, because it's almost 1 o'clock. And we got up at, I don't know, probably around 9:30. And he started falling asleep around like 10:30, 11, I think. I don't even know. Yeah, he's trying to go back to sleep, but I'm literally about to pee my pants. I've been looking everywhere for this adapter. And I literally just took the trash out yesterday. And I didn't go through it before. I had a thought to go through it before I took it out, but it was gross. Like, it was nasty. It was a nasty, dirty trash. And I definitely did not want to. And I'm like, why would it be in the trash? But when you have kids, you always have to think it would be in the trash. But I didn't want to go through it, so I was like, I hope it's not in here. And I put it in the garage. I didn't actually put it in the trash can yet. And I've been walking around. I've looked in the same spot so many times and I'm like, I don't know where this thing could be. And then I'm like, I don't want to have to go through that trash, but I might have to go through that trash. That's what I was thinking. So I'm like, you know what, Sandra, you need this dang thing. It's time to go look in that outside trash, because knowing our luck, that's probably where it is. So I opened the garage door, psyching myself up to go through that nasty mon trash bag. I look down at the trash bag and it's kind of on its side. And what do I see? I see a little white square that happens to look just like my adapter. Like literally right pressed up against the bag. I just saw a little white square and I was like, that kind of looks like my adapter. Thank God it was. So I just popped a hole in that little spot and grabbed it right out so I didn't have to get all dirty digging through the whole thing. Wish I had given in and checked that a lot earlier, but hey, I have it now. Was that you? Did you do that? I bet you did. I'm honestly surprised it happened like that. Usually things don't ever go that easy. Wouldn't say that easy because I did look all around for it all day yesterday and didn't get to upload yesterday when I was supposed to because I couldn't find it. But hey, literally opened the door, looked down, and through the bag I can see that little square. Anyways, this is what I mean by the schoolroom's a mess, okay? Listen, towards the end of the year, I stopped caring about the organization of it, and the kids were always coming in here, pulling papers out, making a mess, the color. Jace would go in here pulling stuff out and messing with stuff, and then the last day of school, I got sick of all her stuff being on the counter taking up space, so I just came and threw it in here and said, I'm gonna deal with that another day. And well, today's the day that I need to deal with it. And look at it. Literally, you can't even see the floor. There's just papers everywhere, craft stuff everywhere. So I need to go through all of this and clear it all out, and hopefully I can turn this back into like the little dogs area is what I'm thinking. Like put their dog cage back in here and stuff. And hopefully put this container back into the hall closet and get this stuff all organized. And I want to turn that little container thingy into like a craft area, so like keep their papers and stuff, their craft stuff. And finally got done with my editing and I did my schoolwork for the day and I've done all that stuff, And so I'm at the point where I need to start doing my cleaning tasks for the day. I just went outside and vacuumed out the car seats and wiped out the cup holder of the car seats. But I still have to vacuum out and wipe down the whole inside of the car. But I have to go to the car wash to do that because our little household vacuum is just not strong enough for that car right now. It's almost 4 o'clock right now. And I don't know what it is, but this whole like week leading up to my period has been kicking my ass. I'm irritated, I'm emotional, I can't stop eating. I keep getting like really shaky. Like literally sitting over there just trying to take notes and do my schoolwork. I was shaking so bad that I could barely write. And like my lips were going numb. My whole body feels like it's trembling, like I'm lightheaded and dizzy and shaky. Makes it hard to do anything that I need to do. Finally made it to the car wash days later to vacuum this car out. Ended up having to bring Jace with me because Christopher wouldn't watch him. Didn't want to have to bring anyone with me so that I wouldn't have to work around car seats, but at least there's only one car seat. I gotta try and get the oil changed. So the thing doesn't really get in the cracks and crevices all that well because the nozzle's so fat, so it's hard to like fully get it, but...
Guess what can I get for you?
Hi, could I get a medium mozzarella stick?
Anything else?
And a large sweet tea, please?
A large sweet tea. Anything else?
That'll be it.
$8.57. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Have a great day.
Thanks, you too.
Give me love, give me all your love, give me all your love.